Hi, welcome to another edition of Fleet Momentum video series produced by Automotive Fleet. I'm Fleet Group Editor Chris Brown. This series is designed to put a spotlight on key leaders, trends, and product offerings in the fleet management industry. This episode is sponsored by and produced in partnership with SmartWitness. Today, I'm pleased to connect with Michael Bloom, VP of Product and Marketing for SmartWitness. Michael and I will discuss what fleets need to know about the switch over to 5G and what they need to do now to prepare themselves. But before we begin, remember to follow and connect with us on social media, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss future episodes of Fleet Momentum. Okay, let's get into it. Well, Michael, welcome back to Fleet Momentum. I'm looking forward to another great conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Me too. Me too.
Sure. Well, let's start with the 3G network sunset. I mean, I haven't heard a lot about it recently, but it's happening next year with all the major wireless carriers. Can you explain what's going to happen and when?
Yeah, for sure. Look, this is a big deal, Chris. I mean, basically, what's happening is the mobile wireless carriers that have the 3G networks, which many telematics devices use to communicate back with the servers, they're going to be shutting these networks down. And what that means is when they shut it down, it's kind of like a light switch. Like it's just if your device is connected to it, it's just not going to work anymore. Now, to be fair, they're not shutting it down sort of across the whole country all at the same time, right? It's a phased approach. I think I think they're going to be starting in rural areas, move their way into cities. But essentially, what will happen is you will start to have pockets in the country, and if you drive across country, this will be a big issue. But there will be pockets within the country that very quickly will no longer have wireless connectivity for any device that is a 3G device. So the way the networks work is they improve over time, right? It started at 3G, well, actually started even at 1G, but then it went to 2G, to 3G, then they have 4G, now they have 5G coming out. And so what they're doing is they're basically sunsetting or turning or shutting down older networks because it's more efficient, it's cheaper to manage. There's all kinds of efficiency gains. And so when they shut those down, everything stops. And why is this an issue? So let's say you've got a telematics device in your vehicle, and maybe you've got an ELD device also, maybe you don't, but let's say your vehicle is tracked using telematics. Basically, what this means is the device that is in the vehicle is like that black box that captures all kinds of data that you then use in the telematics application, but that data won't be able to get to the telematics application because the way it does that is through a cellular connection. And if the cellular connection is severed, which is what will happen in the sunset, then that's it. And the way this is going to roll out is you're going to have, let's see, the end of February of next year, AT&T is shutting down their 3G networks or starting that process. In April, you're going to have T-Mobile and Sprint starting their process. And at the end of December of next year, Verizon, right, will be shutting their 3G networks down. So it's a big issue.
Yeah, well, end of February is coming up quicker than we know, for sure. How does this affect owners of commercial vehicles? I mean, you started to really get into the concerns, but I mean, what else can you tell me about that?
Yeah. So the other thing that you have, Chris, right now is you have sort of like this perfect storm of a problem, right? So on one hand, we know that the 3G network shutdown is coming, and it's coming pretty quickly here. And on one hand, you've got a component shortage out there, which means that the components that are used to make the black boxes, if you will, the telematics boxes, or the video telematics for cameras, or the ELD devices that you're using, right? Any of those electronics components, products, have components that create and build to create those products. That's like the chipsets, that's all the things inside the device, right? There are shortages globally out there right now for those particular products. So you have the perfect storm, and the first part of that storm is there's a material shortage, right, of components out there. The second thing is that you've got sort of human nature, right? Human nature ultimately is to wait for the last minute to make change, right? To do anything. And so now that everybody knows when the deadlines are, right? Everybody's going to still want to wait until the deadline comes before they go to make the change. And so there's that. The third element of the storm that we have is that for everybody who waits, there is going to be a backlog of people to be able to install it, right? So let's say you then order your product from the telematics company, and they go to schedule your installation, and they're like, oh, well, I can't schedule it until, March, and you've got AT&T. Well, your devices might stop working in that time period. And if you rely on these devices for the telematics application materials so that you could run your business, or for ELD for compliance, you're going to be out of luck in a big way, right? So you've got that. And then on top of everything else, because of all the market dynamics at play, we've also got inflationary concerns, right? So prices of everything is going up, it's not going down. So everybody who is waiting to see kind of like what's going to happen, and there is this perfect storm that is brewing, that it means the industry overall is going to get hit massively when this happens. It's going to be very similar, I think, to what happened when the ELD mandate took effect, right? And nobody could get their product installed in time because there were no installers. And only now you've got that dynamic on top of higher prices because of inflation, and basically low supply because of the component shortages that are out there.
Well, it seems like that this is a little bit more of a hard cutoff even still than ELD, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of what should commercial vehicle owners do now, what should they do like now?
Yeah. Look, the first thing they have to do is you got to find out, do you have a 3G device or not? That's the first thing. If you have a 4G device, you don't have to worry about any of this, right? Business as usual. The shutdown will come and go, and you won't even know that it took place. If you have a 3G device, though, you have to take action. So the first thing is to figure that out. Unfortunately, there's no way you can tell just by looking at it, right? What you have to do is contact the company where you bought it from, and you got to find out. And if it is a 3G, then what you need to do is figure out with them, okay, do they have product to ship? Like, do they have product availability? And if so, great, take care of it now, don't wait. If they don't have product, and then the question is, okay, well, when will they? And no matter what answer they give, you might want to start looking and see if there's other options, because there's plenty of telematics companies out there that have product that will be able to ship, that will still meet your needs, right? So might be time to look around and see if there's anybody else out there who could meet your needs. And if you can't find anybody, like, call us, call SmartWitness. We have product you can't buy from us. We don't sell directly to your readers. We sell through telematics companies. But if you call us, we can tell you who has stock, because we know, because we're shipping to them. So that's what I would do. Find out if you've got an ELD product. If you do, you got to work really quickly to figure out a solution to make sure you get that product swapped out as soon as possible.
Wow. Well, thanks for enlightening us on this growing problem and really installing a sense of urgency. So I want to thank you again for the information, Michael. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.